Oh boy. Hey everybody, it's the TV Optimist, and today I'm talking about The Walking Dead. I'm gonna try not to ramble too much with this video, but you know how I am. I love to ramble. Um, Guys, this is gonna be really tough. I'm gonna review up to the point where I have not caught up with yet. I'll do a separate video on 9 and 10 whenever I get there. So this is the first 8 seasons of The Walking Dead. Um, and man, it's this fucking show. This fucking show. Um, Really quickly, let's get the first season out of the way. We meet Rick Grimes. He's been comatose, and it's like he the zombie apocalypse. Like imagine just waking up from a coma in the zombie pod. It's a great introduction to one our character, two our world. I mean, it's just fascinatingly done well. Um, and then we meet all of our other characters. We meet Glenn, like just so many cool people. Daryl, who's made for the show, his racist brother was it Merle. The fucking Dixon brothers are great fucking characters for the series, and they weren't even in the comic. I forgot to mention this is based on the comic book of the same name. Um, we meet Carol. I mean, we meet a lot of cool characters. T Dog. And it's a good first season. They're going to the fucking CDC to try to find a cure. And when they get there, it's like, oh yeah, there's no cure. It's like, oh fuck, and then they blow up the CDC. That's the first season in a nutshell. It's like it really lags along. Uh, there's a lot of good parts in it, like a lot of good drama. Like there's Rick's best friend Shane is fucking his wife Lori, and you know she also has Rick's son Carl, and it's like, oh man, like this is fucking crazy. Like this is not. And when he comes back, like imagine that, like you fallen for this woman who was your best friend's wife. You guys are very passionate love makers. It's a happy, but then she sees her man come back. Like, oh my god, I thought you were dead. Like, I thought if the coma didn't get you, if you never woke up from the coma, the zombies would have fucking got you. Oh, now I have to have those old feelings come back up, and it's really hard to see Shane deal with that shit. And they made Shane a really different character than in the comics. In the comics, he's just like, fuck you, and him and Rick argue a lot, and he like dies in like the first like issue or whatever. Like I don't know. I don't fact check me. I don't. I've never read the books. I might one day because they're done. Unlike the TV show. Fucking so. Uh, so then we have that. That's really fun to watch, and it's fun to watch Carl grow up. At first, um, season two takes our group to a farm. Carol's daughter Sophia goes missing, and it's like, oh shit, this is like the whole story. Like for the majority of the season, like, oh shit, where is Sophia? Where is Sophia? And they go to a farm owned by Herschel. He lives there with his family. We meet series regular Maggie. We meet Beth. And a lot of other children that Herschel has that don't matter. They're just there to be killed. Um, and like I think Beth isn't suicidal at first, but she becomes suicidal. Just save that little nugget of information for season three, but season two still on that one. Like everyone's going crazy trying to find Sophia, and then also Glenn finds out that the barn is full of walkers, and it's like, oh, what the fuck are you doing? And Herschel's like, I don't worry about it. Don't worry about that shit. And like, okay, we'll leave well enough alone. Shane's like, we should fucking kill we gotta kill those walkers. We gotta kill every single one of them. And Shane starts becoming more of a badass. He shaves his head. He's like, he looks fucking cut. He's like, oh my, this dude is fucking crazy. And he's like, I'm in charge of this. Who made Rick in charge? I'm in charge. And he stole my girl, which is his girl, but also was my girl. And Lori doesn't help shit. This was really annoying in the first seasons. Lori, I did not give a fuck about because she made shit so much worse. Like you could be annoyed at little boy Carl for running off and going to play and shit. No, he's got a gun now. He's playing with a gun. Lori's a bad fucking mother. Like she's a terrible person. Like let me go, and then she like continues to like give Shane like hints like I might I might I might still like you, and it's like Shane's like and she's like yeah psych no I'm gonna be with him, and it's like you fucking bitch. I knew girls like you in high school. You were a grown woman. What the fuck are you doing? And it's a zombie apocalypse. Why are you choosing now to be this bitch like so she ultimately comes between Shane and Rick's best like their friendship. Like and it was always doomed from the start. When as soon as Rick came back, it was like, shit's gonna hit the fans. But she made it so much worse. Like she could have worked it out like, hey, I fucked. And I think she ends up telling him and then he's like, why didn't you tell me? And like then she's like, oh, I'm pregnant. And he's like, oh, and like it, and it's Shane's kid, by the way. I mean, of course it is. It couldn't be Rick. He was in a fucking coma. So the end of the season, Shane opens up the fucking barn in one of the episodes, and all the zombies come flooding out, and Rick's like, it's like you piece of shit, and they're all shooting the zombies because the majority outruled Rick, and Rick's like, what the fuck? And then Herschel drops to his knees, like, no, like my family that I could have cured somehow. And they're like, we told you the CDC blew up. There's no cure. I forgot to mention Carl gets shot too. That was crazy. I was like, oh shit. So one kid's missing, and now one kid's shot like through the fucking chest. Jesus Christ. But he's okay. They fix him. Herschel's a doctor, and it's okay. It's a clean shot too. It went right through him. They can fix it. Um, so then the zombies are coming out, the walkers are coming out of the barn, and after they kill them all, the last walker is little Sophia. Oh no! And like they're all shocked. Even Shane's like, "Fuck me, dude." Now I feel like the hugest prick. And Rick's like, "I'll be the good guy here." Bah! Shoots her in the head. And Carol, poor Carol, poor fucking Carol. So then we go on to season 3. Oh, I forgot to mention, Rick kills Shane. They get into a fight. He shoots him, and it's like, oh man, you just killed his bed. That's fucking crazy. You just killed a human being. Like only crazy people do that, and you're the main character. I know it's a fight, and it's like a fight to the death, and it's like justified a little bit. I don't think it's even justified because this is when we start seeing crazy Rick. But then Carl standing there in the field, he just saw what went down, and he has a gun. And he's like, Coral, don't, Coral, and then and he shoots Zombie Shane. What the fuck? He wasn't even bitten. What the fuck? And then this is where we realize you turn into a zombie no matter what. No, you die, you become a zombie. So anyone that succumbs to like fucking food poisoning or what anything, just like heart attack. Like, I'm old. Oh, it's like, you better fucking shoot me. Like, you better shoot my corpse so I don't come back. Then we have a bummer of a season with season 3. Oh yeah, Glenn and Maggie hook up. Um, season 3 is such a fucking like, it's such a bummer because they're in this prison and like everyone gets sick and are dying, and it's like, okay, like this is really shitty. Like people are getting like really sick, and like we meet more characters. Fuck, what were their names? So many fucking characters in the season. So many characters in the show. Um, I'm just gonna get it over with. Oh, the governor is like the big threat this season. Shane was kind of the big threat the second season. First season was just the walkers because this is a fucking zombie show and zombies exist in this world. Everyone should be worried about zombies. But no, there's evil people too. So, the governor is like one of the biggest. Like he was the first like big threat. That was annoying how much he came back. I mean, he was like okay, can he fucking die already? And then he'd like die, and then he wouldn't. It's like, oh, he's not dead. Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. Um, but he had a cool little arc going on. I think this is the season where Andrea dies. We meet Michonne. You see how I like just kind of glossed over Andrea's death because she was just such a boring fucking character in the show. Um, Lots of cool shit happen. Oh, Lori dies. Yay! Oh my fucking god! You start to finally feel bad for her because she's like, "Hey, Rick, I'm sorry," and he's like, "Bitch, please, like, get the fuck away from me," which is understandable. But it's like yeah, she fucked up. She was toxic, and this is kind of like adaptable. Is it adaptable? This is kind of applicable for real life situations. If you're in a toxic relationship and like that person you're with fucks up so many times, you're like, I'm not dealing with this shit anymore. It's understandable, but then that person's like, please, I'm serious. Give me one more chance, and it's like, oh fuck, it's hard to watch that shit go down. Like you're really trying, oh man, and this person's just like whatever. It's like, and you want to be like, just give him one more chance, and that's kind of how I felt with this. Like, just give her one more chance. If she's pregnant, man, it may not be your baby, but fuck. And then like by the time he cares, and we kind of care as an audience, it's like, oh, now she's dead. She's dying. Oh no! And I think Maggie's there, and Carl's there, and Lori's like, I'm probably going to die giving birth. Shoot me. You're gonna have to be the one to do it. And Carl's like, I can do it, and he does it. And it's just like he turns into a almost completely different character by this point. It's like, oh shit, it really fucking affects him. This is when Carl gets good. This is when his story becomes really cool. And then we see her little baby. What the fuck is her baby's name? Fucking, it's not Julia. I can't remember. Little ass kicker, but I can't remember her fucking name. Fucking Julie. I don't know. Season 4. Then we have them leaving the prison and going on the way to Terminus. I think they start leaving for Terminus. Oh, is it at the end of this season? They fucking no. The prison's secure, and the governor comes back, and they have this big fight. He kills Herschel, and that was always like a crazy scene. Seeing how he goes from this shit, like it's like, oh my god, Judith. So it's not Julie, it's Judith. Um, Season 4 is like, it's like, okay, we're good, we're settled, and then Governor fucks everything up, and there's this big fight. We meet Tara, we meet a lot of other characters. Tara's sister was in love with the governor, so Tara was like, I like this guy, I can, and you like the guy too. His episode is like one of the best, where it's like, I've made a lot of mistakes, I've become really evil, I mow down innocent people, and it's like he's actually growing. Oh my god! And then it's like, nope, he's bad. Oh, oh, thanks for investing us into this character. Like, thanks for making us like this character. So he kills Herschel. They leave the prison because the prison's like in shambles now. Fucking Carol shows up and blows shit up. That's really cool. And they go to Terminus. So that's basically season. You would think they would drag it out with season 5. Oh, they're going to Terminus. But that's like maybe a couple episodes. Like you would think like they would draw. I think his name is Gareth. He's the leader in Terminus. It's a sanctuary. Everyone, come on! And they finally get to Terminus, and you're like, it's too good to be true. Like there's always a light at the end of the tunnel that ends up being like, I don't know, like a bad thing. Like it's really bad. And they end up being cannibals. Gareth and his group. They have bodies hanging up and shit. They have I think it's the first episode in the season. It's called No Sanctuary because it's like it's sanctuary. It's cleverly titled. They have Daryl and fucking I think Rick too. Like they have a couple of the big Glenn. They have their heads over trowels, and like I don't know if you know what trowels are. It's like fucking for pigs. Like they fucking eat the shit out of there. Like they eat food and stuff. pour the pig food in their slop. They have their heads and they're like got them by their hair and shit. And they're just like got them over there and they're just slicing throats, just like methodically, not even like here we go, not even being goofy about it. They're just like, nope, wow. It's like, oh shit, and they get to our heroes and we're like, oh no, we're gonna see someone die, and then we don't. But it's still it's a fantastically shot scene, one of the best in the series. Because I remember just like, oh fuck, feeling so tense. So that's and then they end up killing Gareth pretty quickly. Ezekiel was like a shitty pastor who like locked out his people out of a church. They're like, you can make up for it. We can like ambush the savior or the saviors, the fucking what are they called? The fucking cannibals. And they end up coming up and they blow them all to fucking pieces. Moving on, they go to Alexandria at the end of the season. That's season 5. Season 5 was okay. Um, season 6, they're at the end. I think most of season 5 too was spent in Alexandria, where Rick gets a shave. He meets this girl, and they kind of flirt a little bit. And she's married, but her husband's an abusive fucking prick. He gets drunk. He hits their kid, hits him, hits her. Like, he's just a piece of shit. And it ends with Rick killing him because he ends up killing, in his drunken stupor, killing like the head of the group, like her husband. And it's like, she's like, do it. And so lets Rick kill him. Then she gets sick and dies in season 6. And she's like, I want you to be the leader of Alexandria. We need people to actually, fuck, my nose is itchy. We need people to actually like protect us. And we think that you guys can do that. So go ahead. Like, I'm giving you the keys to Alexandria. You are the mayor now. You are the leader. So he's the leader now. Cool. Boom. Insert Negan. And that's the saviors, right? Fucking Negan is one of the best villains, one of the best characters added to this show. Like, Jeffrey Dean Morgan is fucking amazing. Like, this is what they wanted with the governor. The reason why Governor got so annoying and so repetitive is because of the guy playing him. Not that he's a bad actor. He's a fantastic actor. But it's like, okay, we get it. We get it, dude. Like, can we just fucking move on from now? Like, can we just go to like a new villain, like a new person? And that's what made the cannibals so satisfying, is that they were so fucking short. It's like, done. Get rid of this shit. Alexandria didn't have a big villain. They didn't have a head evil. Like, oh man, they gave us a real good break after the governor. It was Pete. He's a drunk asshole. He could be anyone. He could be just any fucking person that just beats their wife in a drunken stupor. God damn my nose. So with the introduction of Negan, it's like, holy shit, this is real. The stakes are real. And to prove that, because our heroes, a lot of them, especially the main cast, like fucking Rick and Glenn and fucking Daryl and all of them are like untouchable. They got plot armor. They're good people. They can't die. We can tease it. We can tease it. Yes, we can. But we're never gonna actually like go for it. And a lot of people, get bored of this show. Like myself, I'm like, oh, Walking Dead, and I start watching. I'm like, oh, okay, I like this show. But season 6, man, like it ends in such a great way. So there's Alexandria. There's other. We introduce other kingdoms and shit. The kingdom is Ezekiel's. I think this is season 6. And then there's Hilltop, which fucking, I forgot his name, Gregory, and he's a really stupid fucking character. Like, he's so annoying. Like, it's so annoying how everyone blindly follows him when you're like, he's not a good guy. He's terrible. He's really fucking terrible. It's like, oh, loyalty. So the end of the season is so perfect. They fucking have everyone, all of our main characters, like surrounded. Like a lot of our big characters surrounded. Maggie, who's pregnant and sick with Glenn's kid. Glenn, Abraham, fucking Rick. A lot of characters I haven't named. I'll mention. Tyrese is the person I was thinking of. Tyrese and what the fuck is her name? His sister. Fuck, I can't remember. She's a good character, kind of. She's pretty cool. She's all right. She's one of those characters that you're like, she had some writing, and then she died. So they're all in this fucking circle. The lights are on them. The saviors are there. Negan has his fucking bat, barbed wire bat. Lucille is just like, okay, someone's gonna get the bat, and he's like, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. And he's counting. And it's like, oh shit. It's like, oh, who's he gonna pick? And then boom, cliffhanger. Holy shit! So season 7 is gonna that gets you excited. That kind of cliffhanger is like, that's a fucking good cliffhanger. Like I hate cliffhangers. Like they're they're kind of a staple for television in general, and they're gonna be overused to death for life. But this is a good fucking cliffhanger. This is like, oh my god. And then we come to like the saddest episode in the season, in the series, rather. It's I would say it's like the red wedding for Walking Dead. Um, and when I review Game of Thrones, we'll talk about the red wedding at length. So for you that don't know that, just know Red Wedding. When I say that, it means it's a really fucking sad and depressing and shocking thing. Um, in the comics, they do this bad scene, and Glenn gets the bat. So a lot of people are like, "Oh, Glenn's gonna get the fucking bat." Me being I have to know what happens. Like I gotta look at the spoilers. I fucking looked up the spoilers, and it happened exactly as it did in the spoilers. I was like, fuck. Because this is before the season even came out. So the season comes out. Me and my wife watch it, like, not live, but we watch it, like, on AMC's online thing. They're like, watch the episode when it comes on, or after a little bit afterwards. You can watch it. And we want to stay up. We want to stay up to date, but at the same time, it's like, we don't want to fucking get cable. Let's just fucking wait a year and wait for the next season to drop on Netflix. So we're watching it, and it's really heart wrenchingly bad. So he does the eeny meeny miny mo, and boom, it's Abraham. It's like, oh, Abraham, who also dies in the comics, in a similar way that a character previously died. Really sad death, crossbow to the eye. It's this chubby lesbian chick that Tara likes. Forgot her name already, but it's just it's like, what the fuck did she do? She's just with them, and the whole episode she's trying to prove that, like, I can be help, like I can help you guys, and then arrow through the eye. That's how Abraham goes in the comics. So this one's different. Bat to the head. It's like shit. Like this is rough, but like the whole episode shot in a flashback format because Rick is just being made Negan's bitch the entire show, entire episode, just getting his ass handled. And then it happened just like I read in the spoilers. Fucking Daryl jumps up, punches Negan in the face, and it's like, Daryl, why the fuck would you do that? The reason why they had Daryl do it, of course, they want people to get shocked. Oh no, he's gonna kill Daryl. Not Daryl. If Daryl dies, we riot. If Daryl dies, we're quitting the show forever. No, you fucking won't. You'll keep watching it. Which is why Daryl needs to die. He needs to fucking die. I love Daryl, but come on now. Like, there's other characters. Come on now. So, he's like, you think that I'm playing around? Like, no, I'm not. I don't know who the fuck you think you're dealing with, but when I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna fucking do it. So then, boom, Glenn gets the fucking bat. Oh, and it's like, it's it's shot just like the comics. He gets up, like, head caved in, blood, his eyes bulged out, and can't even do it. And it's like, oh no. And what they do better than the comics do. In the comics, he gets hit, and he's like, God, and it's the same. Negan's lines are pretty much the same. But then when it cuts to Glenn in the comics, when he talks, he goes, Maggie! He just screams Maggie's name. And it's like, that's, oh shit. But in this one, he's just like, Maggie, I'll find you. It's like, oh no, fucking, oh. Let's rewind for a little bit. I want to talk about Everybody Hates Chris. The main character who played Chris in that, I think his name's Tyler. I think he's just Is his name Tyler? Does he play Trevor? He plays somebody in The Walking Dead, who has a really fucking horrible death, like a really sad death. He's his like face is fucking ripped apart. I don't think he's even in this, but yeah, his face is like ripped apart. That's a really fucked up death too. I just want to talk about that death real quick. But yeah, that's the set. That's how they set up season 7. At the beginning, it's like, yep, this is season 7. Like fuck me, dude. Um, that's the first episode of the season. Like Glenn's dead. Oh, this is what we're dealing with. This is Negan. God, it's so fucking beautiful. I mean, and the last season, I said in the last season they introduced Negan. They don't until the very end. We see him. We just hear, "I am Negan. I am Negan. I am Negan," and then boom, here's fucking Negan. I swear to God, my nose. Season 8 continues the Negan story. Rick and Negan and other stuff. Um, and it's an all right season. It's okay. Um, like compared to the last one where it's like, oh my God, Glenn's dead. This one's like, yeah, Glenn's dead, but like Glenn's dead. It's like that's basically it. Oh, um, I think season 8 is when Carl dies. Yeah, Rick's son Carl. Unlike the comics, very unlike the comics, Carl gets sick. He gets bit. Saving Sadiq. Um, really great moment. And during that time, he gets bit like in his side. And he's like you could tell watching the scene. Like I knew about his death beforehand because I love spoilers, but you can tell in that scene he's like standing there. Sadiq's like, "You okay?" He's like, "Yeah." Yeah, it's like you're not okay, dude. You're dead. You're gone for it. There's no amputating that. You're gone. And it shows how heroic he is to the rest of the season. And I think they really fucked him over. The actor that played Carl, I think they really fucked him over because he moved out. He was ready to like continue doing the season forever, and they just did. They just stopped. Like that's fucked up. Like really, Chandler Riggs. I'm like, that's a dick move. Season 8, we'll just go through it real quick. Ends with a huge like boss battle. It's fucking cool. Um, fucking who the fuck is Abraham's friend? Eugene is like Negan's like right hand man who like creates their guns and shit, and he like creates enough ammo that like backfires, so it kills like half of their own people. Like it backfires, like oh, and he's like, yep, and then boom, charge, and they have like this big fight, and then it's Rick versus Negan. It's like holy shit, and then Rick's like machete or knife or whatever just slices Negan's throat, and it's like a great shot. He's just like oh, and blood, and he just falls down, and Rick is all sweaty and bloody and bruised, and hair all like he's just like pick him up and rest, like save him, and then Maggie's like no, don't save him, and he's like I'm gonna be what my son wants me to be. This is his legacy. He wanted us to get along. We're gonna fucking get along. Like I'm done with killing people. Wrap his fucking neck up. He'll be a prisoner for life. I mean, you could have just killed him. You really could have just killed him. I mean, it's stupid. Like it's really dumb decision making. Him and Michonne are now a couple. I forgot to mention that. Unlike the comics where he bangs Andrew after Laurie's death, he gets with Michonne in this show, and she's a great stepmom to Carl and Judith. Um, but it's really dumb decision making. Him and Michonne are like she's like I'll always back my man. So yeah, I think that's a good idea. But Daryl and Maggie are like this is fucking bullshit. This is stupid. This is really dumb. Why are we going along with this? And they tease tension between the three heads of like okay now they're and like Ezekiel's like I don't care. Like this is all right. And him and Kara are a thing too. Too much shit. I try to make this as short as possible. It's now 30 minutes long. That's where I'm going to end it for now. Then we'll talk about season 9 on a future video, and then season 10 whenever I get around to watching it with my wife. But yeah, tell me what you guys think of The Walking Dead. Favorite moments. If I didn't mention them, sorry. Oops. There's just a lot of shit to talk about. But yeah, you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.